it wasn't too long ago, back in January, many people had him as the number one player in this year's draft class, and rightfully so. But ever since then, he's been slipping. And I've seen a lot of mock drafts that have kind of shocked me. So overall, you'd see around 2 to 3. That's the overall range. Then I start seeing, man, he might go to the Jets at 5 or at 6 or 7. Man, he might go to LA. Maybe he might drop completely out of the top 10, not even in the top 20. And it sucks to say this, but I think when we get real about Shedeur Sanders, I think there's a reason why they have that much concern about him because of what's going on in free agency. The Raiders just signed Geno Smith. My thing is, are they going to want to waste a top 10 pick in getting a quarterback instead of building around Geno? Instead of getting another free agent quarterback for a discounted price than paying for a first-round quarterback who's going to want a lot of money. What about the Jets? They just signed Justin Fields. Do you go get him at a discounted price late in the first round? That's my only concern when it comes to this, because make no mistake about it, I am not hating on Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is one of the most talented quarterbacks that has come through the NFL draft cycle in a long time. Do I understand that he has the dad label on his back? Yes, I am aware. I do not care. I do not care that he is Deion Sanders' son. Let me tell you, 6'1", 212 pounds. Most of them compare him to Geno Smith, by the way, guys. Which I think is kind of crazy, which I would say that Geno Smith and Shedeur Sanders could be a decent fit together in Vegas. So it took Geno Smith a while to just blossom into an accurate passer with a minimal pass rush fear and a decent mobility. That's the thing with Shedeur, is that he gets outside the pocket so quick. Even when there's no pressure, he's quick to get outside the pocket. That's the only real concern about that. He holds onto the ball too long. Mobility-wise, fantastic. Trust me, it's good. The ceiling to me is probably Steve Young. That's where a lot of teams have him. The biggest issue, though, for Shedeur, like I mentioned, he holds on to the ball too long. He gets outside the pocket quick. He gives up on a play too quickly. He runs into pressure a lot. That's where a good bit of his sacks came from last year. Now, the year before, you could say, okay, well, this offensive line broke down for him. We can all say that. But usually it's our own mistakes that really lead up to that. But at the end of the day, guys, I think this is a kid that can develop as a backup for his first full season until he gets the starting role the very next year, whether this specific guy retires or not. They did it with Patrick Mahomes. They've done it with many other quarterbacks. I'm not saying this is going to go exactly how Patrick Mahomes' route went, but I do see Shedeur eventually developing himself into a top-tier quarterback in the next few years, about how Patrick Mahomes was. Am I going to say that he's going to have Patrick Mahomes-type numbers? No, absolutely not. It's going to take time for that to happen. That's why I think you get him into an offense and with a quarterback that has that sort of experience, that has the same sort of intangibles and skill set abilities as Shedeur currently, like Geno Smith with Las Vegas. I think it could be worth a first-round pick on him. But like I mentioned, do this at your own risk. That's all I'm going to say. I am not disrespecting Shedeur in any way. I'm not saying that he is a bad quarterback. That's the complete opposite of what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's a high-risk, high-reward situation if you're taking a quarterback to just be a backup in the first round. But again, it's not the first time this would have happened. Last year, Atlanta did it with Michael Penix with $100 million quarterback in Kirk Cousins, and look what happened. Kirk Cousins got hurt. I think he's getting released this year if he hasn't already. I haven't followed around the NFL that much, and Penix is the future. So it was at the end of the day, it was a decent plan. They can either do it. One of two things can happen. Shedeur falls into the 20s and he becomes an Aaron Rodgers project where he's behind the backup, or he becomes a Mahomes slash, a Mahomes type project slash Michael Penix project. We just don't know yet.